Welcome to Wiki Bearings, where we dive into the worlds of engineering excellence, from the automotive marvels to the industrial giants. Join us to explore the wonders that keeps the world in motion. My name is Hassanin Alwan, and I'm your host. Welcome to Wiki Bearings. In today's episode, we're going to talk about selling online. We are focusing on the spare part, the automotive parts, the 4x4. With me, I have a very special guest that I have known for some time. Passionate digital marketer, a passionate consulting in that spectrum. He have built an online platform which called the 4x4.com. Welcome, Hamid, to the show.
Thank you so much, Hassan. Pleasure to be on this show.
Thank you. I'm happy to have you here. Today, we're going to explore what you have done. And just to soft start what we do, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I come from a marketing background. My major expertise was to actually work with companies, help them digitize, create marketing strategies, and being in this industry for almost 12 years, it did allow me to explore multiple sides of almost every industry. And this way I created some kind of strategies to create my own ventures with some great partners in the industry and try to digitalize few industries. One of them is the automotive industry. So working on a couple of projects. One of them is live, which is the4x4.com. Which is the marketplace for off-roading equipments and products, spare parts. But on top of that, it has customization also. So you can also have car customization ordered online, actually.
So the 4x4 or 4x4.com. So what it is a very niche. I think it's more targeting the 4x4, maybe the off-road. What makes you come to this industry, and how did you come with this idea?
So off-roading industry is very niche in the UAE, but it's very rapidly growing actually. It used to be a very locally liked, so the local, they used to love it. They go for off-roading, desert, hunting, and many different things. So one of the reasons we wanted to digitize this whole industry is it's very tough right now for a person who wants to actually go off-roading is to know exactly, what product do I need, which brand should I buy, how do I customize my vehicle? They have these beautiful off-roading 4x4 vehicle, but they don't know how to start. So we wanted to make it easier. And this is where being online is more to bring convenience, actually. So to make it convenient, we managed to get the American and the Australian OEMs for the spare parts in one platform, and as well as the Chinese manufactured products as well. So this is, I think, the first in the Middle East that we managed to brought these brands in one platform online. We at the same time have we have our own workshop in Al Ain, but on top of that, we have associated with few workshops that will enable to install these products in your vehicle and customize it the way you want, actually. So the idea was to make it convenient, and it has multiple phases. Then gradually we're going to go into making it more AI driven and make it easier for you to customize your vehicle online. So that's the product that's still under development, actually.
If we look at this industry in general, it's a very traditional industry. If we compare to the ticketing, booking a ticket online or booking a hotel online, this have been already done maybe 20 years ago. This market is still very, I would say, analog, maybe we to call it, still not so. And I think we are somehow behind in this trend, the digitalizing trend. Why do you think what is the reason behind that?
So I think one of the main reason is that the people who are expert in this industry are not very tech savvy, and they don't come from a marketing background and stuff. So they are very specific and they understand their product, they understand the things, but they lack on the other side. So many companies actually tried good experts actually try to digitize, actually to try to launch platforms also, but they were not able to convert it into a working business model which would generate revenue. So
more of an interest.
yes, so I think this is where what we try to do is we try to actually, fill that gap in the market. So I come from a background which understand marketing and the technology side, and then I have my partners who come from the industry experts. So we club them together, and that's how we manage to actually cater. So till now we've been successful. It's almost it's more than a year now, and the platform is growing. We hit the break even already. So I think that's
good news.
That's a good news,
Yes.
for a new platform.
Sure.
So that's how we look at it. Is like, I think that was the reason that many in the past also failed, is the marketing and the tech side is very important. And only marketing and tech side also doesn't work. So if I can't just go and try, okay, fine, I want to digitize the bearing industry, I want to digitize this industry. I need the industry expertise. And this is where we try to partner with the industry experts also.
It says that there is more than 2,700 companies in the aftermarket or the spare part aftermarket, at least for the automotive aftermarket in the UAE. And that is not a small number. And if we look at how many of them are online, is less than 3%. Now, you have taken that journey and you have seen what do you think are the main challenges of digitalizing an existing business?
From my understanding, there are three major challenges. One is the companies who are already in business, okay, they have this, they want to go online. So first of all, instead of choosing a solution that will get them go online, they always try to reinvent the wheel.
I think everyone wants to be online.
Yes.
but how to be online, I think it's
challenging.
the challenge.
And then the journey starts once you go online. So actual challenges is there when, okay, now you have the product, it's live, your catalog is live. How to now make your buyer adopt this and come online to buy it. So this is the challenge which starts once your product is ready, which is the online platform.
But you said that they're trying to reinvent the wheel. What do you mean by that?
The customization of the platform. So there are many solutions that are available technically that you can use, plug them together, and be online quicker and focus on the main challenge, which is to get buyers to make the business run. But they spend more time in creating a technology that takes them ages and cost a lot. And then once that is ready, then they actually understand that now is actually the main challenge is how do I get the buyer now? They need to buy. It's not a product that, it's like you make a TV commercial, okay, but you don't broadcast it. You're watching it yourself. You spend a lot of money, but now actual cost and the actual challenge starts now to actually make it adaptable to your buyers actually. So I think this is where the main challenge lies, is not the creating the product or the platform, is after you create it, you need to then have a strategy is how to make it adaptable in the market.
Sure. If we look at this type of a market and the way the customer journey is today, and both the customer, which is the buyer, and the seller are more in touch, let's say maybe face-to-face or by phone and so on. And I think, as you said, a lot of people think the challenge is to build that on, becoming online, but actually the real challenge is how to adapt to that. And I think there is so many things. So tell us, now that if any one of our audience is interested in going online, and now what are the things they should think about and how to make it user-friendly maybe, and how to make it acceptable for this type of buyer that you already have now tapped on?
Okay, so if we're talking about, every industry is different. So I won't be able to give one solution that actually fits all industries.
No.
So let's suppose I assume that the listeners that we have are actually from the spare parts industry or automotive industry. So in this segment, especially in this part of the world, people trust communicating or engaging with a real human being. So they want to talk to somebody, tell them their problem, and then take an advice and then do it actually.
It's more of that the connection and the advisory, the trust. I think a lots of trust.
The trust comes actually. So right now, even if you go online, you wouldn't have that trust from day one. You will have to build it. They would rather talk to somebody. So I always suggest to companies that follow a hybrid model. Don't go fully online. Don't go fully, traditional. You have to have a hybrid model that will allow you to have an online presence and gradually let your customer adopt to this. And obviously now you have AI, artificial intelligence, that will enable you to build modules and products that can give the same level of advice that a person or a salesperson setting with a bigger number of data that can feed it actually.
I think now it's getting a bit scary now. Now, if any salesman is listening to us, you think they're going to replace us with AI.
Well, it's going to happen anyhow.
You
Companies
think so?
are investing. Everybody's exploring options. So I think this is one of the reasons why managing and organizing your data in a way and using this technology, because if you're going digital, and then still keeping the traditional model, it's fine for a short term, but for a long term, you have to build products that will make it sustainable. And that will only sustain when you actually build a solution that will give the same level of knowledge and information as a person, as a salesperson that's giving right now, and unbiased at the same time. Because salespeople, they are biased by commission, by brand endorsement, by some association with certain brands. But here you get a very clear unbiased. So imagine you come to my platform, and if you have a car, let's suppose you have a 4x4 car and you want to go off-roading, but you don't want to go like very high dunes and everything. You just want to go a very chilled, on the sides, have a camping
An
and
amateur
everything.
off-roading.
So why should I offer you a product that's heavy duty? You're not going to spend extra money on that. So I would rather the AI would be able to suggest you product that's good enough for your usage, less cost efficient, because there are few products that gives you very smooth drive on the off-road area. Some products are heavy duty. It doesn't give you smooth drive. It's actually more for professionals actually. So this suggestion should come from an unbiased system. For now, we have a team, we have experts that will advise you, but gradually this should change into an online platform. And that's the way you can only be fully digitized.
I mean, I think we are still a bit far from this fully digitalized. I think, of course, AI have changed the way we look at customer service, we look at help, support, and I think this is rapidly changing. And I think in the coming 4 or 5 years, we're going to see an exponential growth. And even today, in the past, the human voice was difficult to imitate, but now with AI, even the way we speak, the way we interact, it becomes much more interesting, and I think this is driving the business in that direction for sure. Looking at our industry, still is a very, very traditional, very analog maybe, and I think if we look at both the industrial part or the automotive parts, it's a lot about the trust, the relation, how we do things. But we also see that the new generation, which is, let's say, born with iPads that do things online, and they are more, I think the new generation have much more trust online compared maybe to the old generation. And they are much more used to this buying online because they've grown up with buying online, and you get used to that. And I think this is what the industry is going through. I've recently read that PNC Intelligence is estimating the market to grow to 1.4 billion by 2030. This is which is estimated now to be like $500 million in UAE. This is like triple.
This is for the spec parts?
Yes, the automotive parts. Okay. And if we look at it's expected, this is 2030 is only 6 years from today, maybe 5.5 years, right? So what is, in your opinion, driving that growth? And do you think this is a realistic number?
Well, from my understanding, as of we're working on another project which is not specific to the 4x4 parts. It is more general parts, and it even have used parts in it, which is the scrap industry also in Sharjah. Now, if you combine the used spare parts along with aftermarket and OEM, you are talking about billions of dollars industry actually, and that's alone in the UAE, because UAE caters then all the surrounding countries and everything actually. So we are working on a project there, but I think it's the number of cars, the number of population in the country, and the number of business that people are coming, the traders, it's growing rapidly. So that definitely will have a direct impact on the market size of the spare parts as well. And this is going to grow. This is going to grow.
No, what they mean, it's the online aftermarket business is 500 million and it's going to be 1.4 billion. Well, this is not the whole market size. This is the online,
which is probably 2 to 3%.
Yeah, which is a very small niche.
Which is a small percentage, yeah.
So if we look at it's going to be 3 times, it's a very big number. You don't have any organic growth this way. This means that there is a very strong adoption. There must be of existing businesses and new businesses. And for me, this number is very big.
Okay, I think that's, as we said, it's going to happen in all industries. Spare parts is one of the main. Okay, so let's suppose I need a spare part for my car. Imagine the challenges we go through right now. It's so difficult. And people are used to, being Amazon, Noon, and many online aggregator platform. It just makes it easier to find any other products. So spare parts definitely is going to be growing actually, because we are getting adopted to convenience, right? So we want convenience in everything. It's not going to be. So this is going to grow, but I assume it's going to be even more because still now there are very small players in the market, in the online spectrum. You don't find a big unicorn that's leading this industry right now. So the market gap is huge. And this is, once new player comes in the market, this will grow rapidly. I think, yeah, for sure. So it's very factual actually from my understanding.
Okay. Now I think another aspect of, or another challenge that I have seen and I talk to different people is the data. When we do a lot of face-to-face business and we do this traditional business, you come to my store, let's say you want to buy a part, that can be a bearing for a machine or a bearing for your wheel bearings. This business is the amount of data, the way the data is managed, the way the data is stored is different than how it's expected to be in an online store. So how important is this? I mean, I think a lot of the audience that are today maybe either have started this journey or wants to start this journey or thinking about this journey. I think they don't really, some of them do not realize how important the data is. So you have done this journey more than one time in my knowledge. So how the structure of data and what they should think about when it comes to data?
It's very important. I look at data from a perspective like it's the knowledge bank that you have that will drive innovation. You can't innovate without having the knowledge of something. So it's the same way. If your data is not organized, you will not be able to train a new product that will be innovative and effective at the same time. And you start from small. If your company or your organization or your industry is not organizing your data, you should start from very small actually. That's the type of inventory that you sell, the type of inventory that is in demand, the basic data. You start from there and then get into your customers and then segmentation. And then this will give you clear vision about the future. And then when you have many industries are already getting organized and understanding of this data to be organized. AI is not going to work if you don't have efficient data. It's just data science. It's a clear, large volume of data. So whether it's AI, it's technology, it's innovation, you need the thing that will feed them is data.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with this is what AI is driven by, and I think data is. But let's say you said that they should start collecting data, and I think in general they are collecting data, and some of them have been collecting. Some of the industry are collecting data for 10, 20 years, and now how to deal with this data, how to clean this data, how to interact with this data. Any suggestion or any tip?
I think the first thing you should get is an AI consultant or a data scientist that should review your current organization data structuring process and then how you organize it actually. And there you actually create an AI strategy for your company, or at least a basic that your data is ready to be adopted in the future if you plan to actually get into this innovation or bring a new product that will actually disrupt the industry. But I think just get an AI consultant or a data scientist that can just review it actually and give you a basic structure to organize it. That's it. It's the first starting point. If you're a very small company or a small organization, even you need it actually, because it's all a matter of right structure, and you can actually change the whole industry. Big market opportunities are still available. Me and you alone cannot actually cater the market. You need other players, you need big players actually to create products that will change or disrupt many industries. It's going to happen anyhow. Somebody will do it. You know, we're trying to be one of them actually. So data is very important, but get a data scientist or AI consultant just to actually review it as a first step.
So disregard if it's a big company, an old company, or a startup, you think they should have the data taken care to be able to move online?
100%, yeah, that's very important.
Okay, let's say I think again, lots of our audience are either in this process or thinking about starting a business online or moving part of their existing business, as you said, hybrid into an online business. Now, some of them does not know where to start. And so, yes, I have a traditional business. It's a successful business. Maybe it's smaller, or some of them, you know, we have big player in UAE and all the surrounding. I mean, we have all these 2,700 companies. Some of them are very small, 1 or 2 people, and some of them are 2, 3, 4, 500 people. So they are not, all of them are small. But I think the challenge is the same. Wherever you start, you want to start planning this. So for the planning, if I've not done that before, what do you suggest? How do I plan this forward?
I think very simple from the way how I look at it, or how my method is I always tell my clients or my partners we're working with is the objective is to make it convenient. Otherwise, why you're going online if you can't make it convenient? So if Hasnain is my current client, actually, the way he communicates with me, WhatsApp made it convenient. So, okay, what's the next step? How do I make it more convenient for Hasnain to actually do business with me? So I think convenience is the key, where we find a way, okay, in my current business model, how do I make it convenient for my customer that he does very less and he gets maximum, in response. And then you find tools. Again, don't go to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Don't always. There are plenty of tools available.
Wheels.
Yeah.
Yes.
The world technology industry is huge. There are plenty of these tools are available. You just need to find the right tool, plug them together, and give the solution, and gradually go on that road. Actually, you will automatically be, in few years, you will have a product. Your industry will be in a better position. You will be in a better position to provide a better service for your customers. But convenience is the key that will drive them to stay with you. Let's suppose I buy bearing from you, actually. Currently, if I have to talk to 3 people to place an order, you make it convenient that I talk to 1 person. I'll be happy. You make it, I don't need to talk to anybody, and I make it automated. What my requirement is, that's even better. That's all digitization. Having it online is also the same thing. You're just making it more convenient for people, actually.
I think convenient is the name of the game of any digital business.
Yes.
It's not for only spare part, and I think we have seen in the companies that are able to break through and make it more convenient, suddenly they are way stronger, or they can break through in different ways. And we have seen that even in simple delivery of food, or the one that gets delivered faster. Sometimes we choose by, okay, this one is delivering 20 minutes faster or 10 minutes faster. So there is this also the competition in convenience.
Exactly, yes.
Itself. But my question was a bit more, let's say I'm a business owner and I want to start looking online. What are the first step I should do? Like, what should I start hiring somebody to do it? Where some direction. So I after they have listened to me, then they said, okay, now I know what to do, at least taking the first few steps into this.
Uh, very simple. If you have in-house team, okay, sometimes in-house team are very good, but they are always within the box. So you need somebody who's out of the box. So get an external consultant who are good at doing these things, who can digitize things or who can give you ideas and concepts. Get discussion, hire him as a consultant or something that can actually advise you. They will even make a roadmap for you. Based on that, if you have the enough fund, if your company is large enough, you have an in-house team and the external team work together. If your company is small, work with external and do it more on ad hoc basis, actually. So as the requirement grows, you work on it, actually. But experts are important. You can have an idea, but how to execute an idea, you need an expert. And the expert will then guide you. If you think one expert is not doing a job, change, bring another one. But sometimes what companies does, they expect the in-house team to come up with concepts and everything and do everything. But that's where limitation happens. There are companies who are working with minimum 10 industries. They have access to a different type of ideas and concept than a company or an IT team or a marketing team that works only in your industry. So having these external team can actually guide you and advise you on ideas that sometimes comes from different industries, but it works in your industry as well, actually. So I think this is where the starting point would be, is get somebody expert who can guide you. Once you have a roadmap with them, then implement it. Simple.
You mentioned something that if you're small and you don't have the in-house, so maybe you can use an external. Now it looks to be the other way around. Like, it looks that the bigger ones are trying to use an in-house team, and the smaller ones are the one that is outsourcing, and I think sometimes the breakthrough happens because if you admit that you are not the expert and you hire an expert, sometimes things move much faster. And I think if we look at other industries, we learn a lot from. We can learn. I mean, if you look at the delivery challenge that food industries do, I mean, restaurant, I mean, that complexity. But instead of trying for us or for anyone to compete with that, it's going to be very difficult.
Very difficult.
But if you use that,
yes,
it is then it becomes part of the convenience. And I think when it's come to the digital journey, I think there is a lots of similarities, a lots of knowledge we can learn from other platforms, from other industries that have. I look at for example, the pricing model of hotels and how advanced is that compared to any other business. I look at the restaurant delivery and food delivery. This is very, very it's small. It's many deliveries in one day, in one time. So it's very complex. There is something to learn there. And I think if we look at different industry, we can learn and we can see that similarity. Okay, so maybe I don't need to deliver within 10 minutes for my bearings at least. But at least there's something to learn there. If it's pricing, how do I learn on the pricing? I think everyone thinks that his industry is the most complicated, the most complex. Like, we have something around 30,000 SKUs. And I was speaking to one time to one of the fashion retailers. They said in one brand, in one season, we could have 30,000 SKUs.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's like, and that is one season. And then after another season, they would have to change. And in the same SKUs, there are different colors, different sizes, different models, shorts, and all of these. So I think we somehow are all thinking that my industry is the most complex. My industry it's different than others. But I think if we are open-minded enough and try to say, our industry is like any other industry. The customer journey nowadays is becoming also very similar. Today, I think what have changed a lot with the internet and the era of today, before we would go to a store discussing and then make a decision of buying something. But I think we never do this now. We are going to the store already know what we are planning to
Exactly.
buy.
Yes.
And that is done through the research. We check online, we compare, we see a YouTube video, and we have done. And this have changed, and this is changing in every industry. And I think many of our customers is doing the same. They know what they want. Could be a brand or a certain specification. Even if he's not an expert, he have done his homework. And this is changing the whole way of the customer journey. 20 years ago, if I want to buy a mobile on any, I would go and I don't know, maybe I have a budget. And then I go and I see the 3-4 different models. And then I say, okay, this one is having this specification. It can be a TV or whatever. But now, I think most of the time we know what we want. And we have done that research online. And this is why the journey is very different. And that is also driving the expectation of customer. You need to be available online. And I have said that to even very traditional business. Sometimes you need to be online for your customer to see and search your product and find them. And maybe you're going to give you a call and buy them.
Exactly.
That's fine.
Simple.
Or send you a WhatsApp.
Yeah.
That's no problem. But not being visible online can maybe take you out of this comparison of that. So I think there is this change, and what the leaders or unicorns have changed in the way we buy. It could be Amazon or Noon or any other. Our expectation is also different. Yes. Why I can buy a sandwich online and I cannot buy a spare part online or a bearing online, and if we look at as well in the US and Europe now. A lot of business spare part, it's happening online. Big companies are there is this, what we call them the unicorn, or what I call them the Amazon spare part in Europe.
Yeah.
And they are doing substantial business.
Indeed.
I think we have the opportunity in this region to be one of them, or to be part of this game. And this is why I thought this podcast would be interesting for a lot of because I think all of us, all the listener of our podcast are somewhere in their journey. Either they already have a store, and then we have something for them as well. Maybe they have a successful or not yet successful, or they want to start.
Yes.
Or they are planning to start. I think the general willingness is there.
Is there? Yes.
The willingness is there.
Nobody wants to be left behind.
How and when, and I think this is where the delay is happening. So looking at somebody that have spent some time building their website and they think, okay, now I can go live, I'm done. I think it's really the start of the game. And I think once we are live, the challenges are very different. Now, from your experience and your expertise, what are the challenges after we go live?
Two major things that you need to keep in mind is once you build the platform is when you start the journey. So you need two things which is very important. One, continuous development. There is no end to building a platform. You start building a platform. You never say, I'm done, I'm complete. You go live on different stages. You go live with different modules, with different features, but you keep on building it, improving it. It's a continuous work, actually. Any social media platform, any digital platform, you name it, there is still continuous development happening. So that's one, you never stop.
So it's a continuous evolvement, a continuous innovation, and continuous building.
Based on feedback, based on data, based on people interaction on your platform, there is no one way that is good for everybody. So you need to find your way. Second, marketing, which is another very important thing, actually. And marketing then depends what industry you are in. If you are in a B2B or a B2C. If you're a B2B, it's completely different way of selling or making it acceptable by the customer, actually. And if it's a B2C, then it's different. It's not just social media, and associating with influencers or just running few ads on digital marketing platform. These are just few of the tactics that you use. But in total, you have to have a very clear marketing plan. You should know in 1 to 2 years what you're going to do in your marketing spectrum, how you're going to acquire a customer, how you're going to retain them, how you're going to make them, upsell. This is all part of your strategy that you should do from day one that you go into market. You can't just go live, spend a lot of money on your platform and be ready and then find a way, okay, what am I going to do? Now I'm done. This is where it starts, actually. It's the same way like you open a store. So let's suppose you open a store in a market, it will sell. For example, you open a store in Amazon. It will sell because they're already buyer there. But let's suppose I tell you open a store in the middle of a desert. That's what happens when you build your platform. Who's going to come to the middle of a desert? There is no walk-in customer. There is no people who are waiting for you. So over there, you have to find a way to bring people to that place where you are located. So that's the same online platform. Nobody knows your address. Nobody knows why they should come. Okay, they know, okay, fine, you have a website. Why should I come? Why should I buy, So you have to make it work. It's continuous development and marketing. Two very important things, actually.
So if we just took so this continuous work and in the marketing aspect. Now, just so we go a little bit, do we do it in-house or do we outsource? And when do we do it in-house and when do we outsource? Now, both I'm talking about the marketing perspective because there is a lot, I don't think there is right and wrong, but I mean, you from your perspective, because some companies are small, they wouldn't have enough in-house. But you have done that journey. You know how much you need, and what would be best is outsourcing the development or the continuous innovation. And once it comes to the marketing, when and what do we suggest?
Okay, the continuous innovation when it comes to the IT side of it or the technology side of it, if your product is good enough, you definitely have to have either a retainer-based contract with the IT companies or have in-house resources, actually. Because that's something which you don't know. It comes based on data, feedback, customers' feedback, their behavior on your platform.
You're shaping it.
So you're just improving. You need continuous improvement there. You're going to try. So that you don't outsource that whole model. You can do it, but more on a retainer basis rather than on a project basis. Marketing on the other side is different, actually. When you know what you're going to do, it's good to have in-house team because they can just implement. When you want to try what you're going to do, you can't depend on somebody who is in-house and has the same mindset of you and have influence of the leadership on them. They can't actually go out of the way because the leadership in most of the companies doesn't give that freedom.
If it's a traditional, business, I think the mindset is as well.
In our part of the world, I think it's most of the businesses is that the leadership has such a strong influence that the team in-house doesn't cross that, mindset. So they have to stay within the mindset. Here, when somebody comes from outside and they don't get influenced by the leadership, they can actually create some new
At least
strategies.
they are free to speak.
Free to speak, has nothing to lose. Yes. So over there, you always need external consultancy to give new ideas, new concept, and stay ahead of your game, actually. That's my suggestion.
Great. And I think it makes complete sense. I think sometimes if we have a team that is doing the marketing in-house, they're used to do a traditional marketing in a traditional way and catering customer coming to the store face to face. And this is another challenge and another skill which is needed. But I think once we try to move online, it's a different set of skills. And sometimes having a fresh perspective. If it's conform what we are doing existing, it's fine. If maybe a new idea or a new platform. And I think it looks to me the cost in the acquiring customers on that new platform is something to consider. And that is where the marketing investment or expense goes.
Yes.
Agree, not agree?
100%. I agree with you because I think there is no industry right now or no digital platform that can say, oh, I'm so innovative that I don't have to spend too much to acquire a customer. As I said, the earlier example, very simple. You are opening a store in the middle of a Sahara desert, actually. Now you need to make customer come to you. So you need to convince me with your knowledge, with your products, with your convenience, with your,
expertise.
Yes, trust,
quick
everything.
delivery. Yes,
and then I'm going to click on the buy now button and then put my money in your pocket. Otherwise, I'm not going to come to your store, actually.
If we look at this journey from we go live until the day we break even, how is because I think this is the darker side of any business, and I think this is the scary point of anyone. And once you meet your finance team and say, we're gonna go, we want to do this, and then this is the time. So I have a couple of questions in that. So how do we deal with that, and how long is that time? Because once we are break even, nobody, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, do whatever you want to do. Yeah, that's fine. Once you are break even, the weight on the shoulders is different. But from the day you go live, because even before that, I think and I think this is a hidden reason why the time of developing a platform becomes very long, because as long as we did not go live, there is no expectation of revenue generation. Once we go live, until we break even, this is the challenge.
All right. Practically, that's the reason I think many big companies doesn't disrupt in the online spectrum, because they are too much calculated. They're they want to make money before they even spend money. They want to make sure there is a revenue coming from it. Look, innovation, and when
I would love that as well.
Yeah.
To make money before I spend my money.
At least they are sure, okay, fine, in 6 months I'm going to make money when I spend or I build the platform. It's not that easy. Again, every industry is different. Let's suppose if it's a B2B platform. A B2B platform as compared to a B2C platform hits break even faster.
Really?
Yes. This is based on experience, I'm saying, is a B2B platform, the cost of acquiring customer is cheaper as compared to a B2C platform, because you might have 100 B2B customers that can give you enough business to reach break even, but you need 50,000 B2C customer to make you break even, actually, in many industries.
So in terms of number of customers?
Number of customers. And in B2B, you know your segment, you know who you want to approach, you know how to convince him, you know what tools you need, actually. You're just making it convenient and bringing them, giving them a better solution than your competitor, and that's it, he's yours. They don't have any biasness because of a brand association, like a B2C. Their emotional connection with a brand. Businesses, their financial connection with a brand, actually.
A lot, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think B2C is, as it's a business, there is a lot of rationalization to it compared to a B2C, which is more of emotional. I'm saying, of course, there is rationalization, but I think the weight on rationalism in a B2B is a bit higher. Yeah. But I think in B2C is different. It could be a color can change your mind and say, no, I don't want this color, and you will buy somewhere else.
Yes. A brand strategy could actually make you away from a certain brand. That happens in B2C. But B2B is pure numbers, rational, and this is the reason the break even in a B2B segment you hit earlier. Again, it's not a fact that applies to all industries. It's you have to look at your number. But I think from my understanding, if you are really planning to just increase your sale and go online, find an existing aggregator, work with them, because they will give you sale. Go on Amazon, go other B2B platform. You don't need to build your own thing. Don't spend too much, because you're not actually of that mindset who want to disrupt the industry or come up with something else. So don't spend money where actually you have a chances of success and a chances of failure. If you want to actually disrupt, then the chances of success and failure is 50-50. So you have to actually be acceptable. If it doesn't work out, you probably have to redo the whole thing. You might have to redo the platform. You might have to, create a new strategy, but be consistent, because you have an aim to achieve, actually. So I think this is what it is. It's not a very clear thing. Okay, fine.
It's a clear path.
It's not like that. You might fail. There is a high chances you will fail. I'll tell you, the failure chances is more, actually. But still, if you have the vision, you have the hunger to disrupt the industry, you wouldn't actually hurt, your pocket or your heart wouldn't ache when you are spending that money. Because okay, in 3 years I didn't reach, I'll spend 5 years and make it reach, actually. Because then the ambition is different, that's driving you. If the ambition is to make money, I would say look for aggregator. let somebody else do the job and you just make money. Focus on that. Don't be the disruptor of the industry.
Yeah,
or don't
use
be
the existing platforms. And this is another way of doing business.
There's many people can
and
do
there is
that.
a lot of people. And I think in the B2C as well, this becomes also a trend.
Yes.
If your product is a B2C product, to acquire that customer, it's also a cost and time. And if you use an existing aggregator or a platform, they have this B2C customer, and then you can just adapt to this, and could be the start of that journey that you are working on.
Yes, there are many platforms where the platform doesn't make money, but the sellers on the platform are making huge money. Because you understand, because
true.
marketplace works like that. Marketplace doesn't make money for a very long time. It's you don't hit the e-commerce can make money, but marketplace doesn't. So what's your hunger? Why do you want to do it actually? Is it for the sake of making money? Then there are many other solutions available where you can increase your sale by being online and not spend too much also. And then chances of failure is very less actually. So you can hit your break even easily.
So there is few terms. So I want to just make it clear for our audience. Now we said B2B a few times and B2C. So I want you to define this term. And then we said marketplace and e-commerce, and just let us define these terms. So just to make it, if somebody is not familiar with these jargons, at least they are aware.
So B2B is very simple. It's business to business. So when a business sells anything to another business, it's a B2B transaction. And B2C is a business to consumer, the end user who buys your product actually. So Amazon is mostly B2C, Noon is mostly B2B, B2C. But then you have online platform that sells to businesses only, like TradeLink actually. It's another platform they're trying, which is a B2B platform. They sell in bulk, they sell directly to businesses also. Amazon has a B2B section also, which is Amazon Business. They sell to businesses as well. So that's B2B and that's B2C.
Now, marketplace and e-commerce.
This is very important. One of the major thing what's happening in the market is many businesses that have product, that are manufacturers themselves, that are brand owners themselves, when they go online and sell something online, it's an e-commerce platform. So it's online platform. They're just making it e-commerce to sell it. But there are some, for example, a company comes, they launch a platform, they don't own for now something, or even if it's one of their product is them having a certain products, but they make it a market actually, which is like a mall where multiple other brands can also sell their product on this platform. So that becomes a marketplace actually. So a marketplace, let's suppose if it's a bearing industry or a spare parts marketplace, so you will find different brands selling their product there. Everyone having their own individual stores, like on Amazon. Amazon is a marketplace, Noon is a marketplace actually. But there are few companies who are brands themselves and they just make their product, their catalog available online to sell. That's an e-commerce platform.
So just to simplify, so if I'm selling my products on my platform or my online store, this is e-commerce. If it's a platform where different suppliers put their products to sell to different customers, can be B2B and can be also B2C.
Yeah.
It's called a marketplace.
A marketplace, that's simple.
Great. Looking at the 4x4.com, what is the biggest, now looking at the experience you have, you already reached a break even, congratulations. Now, what was your biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge from day one and till today is to make it acceptable by customers. Luckily, the OPEX of the company or 4x4 is very small, so we could hit break-even quickly. But the potential of the industry is so huge that I still feel we are not even catering 0.1%.
Okay.
Like it's huge. So I think the challenge from day one was to make it acceptable by maximum number of customers to place order online and trust our service of picking up their vehicle and installing the products and then delivering back to them actually. So I think that's been the challenge, which is, we discussed earlier also, the cost of making it acceptable, and it's a B2C business. So that's more challenging.
A bit,
yes,
complicated.
that's more challenging. So we're working on that. And at the same time, we are getting data and feedback, what's stopping the customers from not fully using the platform all the time, or new customers. It's to make it more convenient for them. And this is why I said we have modules that are under development, which will make it easier for them to come, put their requirement, and get a suggestion of what products they need, how, where should they install it, and the cost of it, and the warranty, and which brands we suggest. Everything, they'll get the instruction there. On top of that, because then you have in the 4x4 another segment, which is where you can customize your car the way you want. So you don't want somebody to tell me, you have your own idea. Like, I want these tires, I want this, bumper, I want these suspension and shocks. So we want to make another module, which is in the development, which is where you can choose your brand of car and customize it on your own.
Build your own pizza.
Exactly. And then place the order, we'll come pick it up and install it for you, because that's your thing. So I think making it convenient, again, this is the challenge. At the same time, catering and making it adoptable for what we have currently. That's the challenge. So this is what we are currently working with, and we are trying to improve it, actually.
I think what you said is not only unique for you. I think for any new business model, especially a new online idea, is acquiring customer, or to acquire enough customer to explore, and then out of that funnel take them to trust the platform and really do the business. There would be some obstacle somewhere. Sometimes it could be the let's say the delivery, or the location, or and the more you solve, the more you understand the journey, and we say where the disruption happening, or where you need to evolve, as you said, and I think it's different for an expert that wants to do. I mean, you're giving me suggestion, but I know what I want. Some customer will be like this, but the other customer, I have no idea. Tell me, what should I do? And I think this is different when we interact with a store, and this is how I think if we bring that convenience, which is in a store, to an online, this can break through.
Indeed, yes.
And, it's still a challenge, and I think we expect different things from an online store compared to, and I think this adaptation, but I think we are moving that direction, and in general, the trusting paying online becomes much more normal.
Yes.
Which is 10 years ago, I pay online would be, how do I put my credit card online? I don't trust this platform. I think there is a lots of problems, and this is probably thanks to COVID, that we started to trust a lot of online. Today we do, if we compare to pre-COVID and after COVID, I think there was a huge adaptation of the digital platform and the trust of digital and buying online. Lots of people moved to buy online because this was the only way. And I think thanks to COVID, digitalization was pushed.
Was pushed, yes.
In a different way. Now, looking at you have a niche customer. This is not a general public product. It's more of a niche customer. How do you find these customers? How do you engage with them? Is it an event? I mean, this must be a community out there that are interested. How do you engage with these?
It's different when it comes to Emirates. So in Abu Dhabi and Al Ain, it's different. It's majority all the locals that comes. There are some really influential influencers online that have associated with us, and we actually acquired an existing workshop also, so that gave us a good exposure to the market, and we had some data, so we knew who our customer are. We serve there not only B2C, we serve some B2B companies also. On top of that, in Dubai it's different. In Dubai there are off-roading groups, there are off-roading communities, there are lots of expats that does it for fun actually, and over there we associate with them actually, and we promote our platform there. But right now our majority focus is being Abu Dhabi and Al Ain, so we're still actually we're keeping it low end. We're not promoting it too much because we are trying to make the product better. The current volume and the response we're getting is already making us packed actually. So the market is niche, yeah, but at the same time the demand is bigger actually.
Very nice, right? Now, looking at your platform and imagining 5 years from today, what do you expect to happen?
Well, I expect that the two important modules to be also implemented, and that will enable us to go globally. Because this lacks not only in the Middle East, we don't have any such platform in the whole world where it's actual business, where we have a big interest getting into the US market. It's a big off-roading community there, Australian market, and then gradually getting into the other GCC countries as well, actually. But most of our suppliers and brands that we deal with are from US and Australia. So we want to actually cater that market and take the technology there.
Now, I think we covered most of the aspects of like from the planning. Now there are a few trends that we see that is happening. You mentioned AI. How do you think AI would play a role in this digital journey in the coming 5 years?
I think it's going to make it more easier for people to adopt, technology. Very competitive. People who are underestimating it would, feel left behind if their technology or if their current platform doesn't adopt this. Companies who are currently, because AI is not limited to just only digital. It can be in your production facility. It could be your, cyber security. It could be your digitalization of the whole things, logistics, many things. So it's like internet. You can use it. It's like electricity. You can use it to empower any machine. So I think it's going to have a huge impact on the digitization of industries as well, on the way people experience things. It will make it easier, actually.
When you say make it easier from a consumer perspective, from a buyer or from a seller perspective?
Well, both actually. Will make the job to sell something quite easy. Let's suppose we have one major AI tool that everybody uses nowadays is ChatGPT.
Obviously.
What it does is like make it easier for you to draft emails, to do some research. So it's a tool that now everybody uses it, and they made the job easier, faster actually. Now implement that on any technology, whether it's a website, to suggest you what product you need, how you need, what kind of right products you should buy, what's the right price for that product as a seller. It gives me the data, who's selling on what price, what should be my product, how do I customize it to be better than my competitor. So it actually benefits all. So in the end, it's electricity, it's going to light you and it's going to light me at the same time. So depends how you use it is very important. And this is why I said it's very important at this stage also to actually engage with some experts, get your organization, be checked by them and see the possibilities. And not one time. This should be a regular practice in few months or years. You should continuously do it.
Every 6 months, go to a checkup.
Sort of, yeah. Why not? It's like a health check of your company, AI health check.
Like it is changing the way. I think we cannot ignore the impact AI will have. And I think especially when we are digital with the availability of data, and this is I think it's going to drive the business. Sometimes an offline business, it can be a bit, you have a different challenge to adapt AI because how to get the data and so on. But I think with an online business, AI going to change the way things forward. And I think we are in the baby steps of AI, and I think we have a long way to see.
We have a long way to go. Yes,
Hamid. I mean, it's really a pleasure to have you here. I enjoyed our discussion. I mean, I would love to discuss, but for this episode, for this time, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure talking to you, and very insightful podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. And for our audience, thank you very much for today. If you have any comments or suggestions, reach us at podcast@mcb.ae. Thank you, and until next time. And that wraps another episode of Wiki Bearings. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the fascinating realm of the engineering innovation. Until next time, keep spinning towards greatness.